Well, howdy, this is Hamid. On Saturday, December 9th, I went out in search of artists at Chris Haberman's 10th annual Big 500 art show, bringing together over 600 local artists, approximately 5,500 pieces of original, affordable artwork, with non-perishable food donations going to the Oregon Food Bank. I went out hunting for artists to pose a question. Why is art important in today's world? And I got some really good answers. Come on and enjoy the ride. Well, howdy, this is Hamid with the Milwaukie Arts Committee. Down here at Pioneer Place on Saturday, December 9th, 2017, here for Chris Haberman's Big 500.
I'm Suzanne Bourne, and I'm one of the artists in the Big 500 show. I'm also connected with the Air Gallery, and we're doing a show after the Big 500 in conjunction with it. So we have art on sale and things from Artist Studios, so come along to that.
Is art essential?
It's hope for the future. It's positive energy. I'm more personally as an artist, I'm about color. I think you can add, especially the Big 500, $40 piece. You can get a really nice piece of art.
Question while we're walking.
Yeah, what dear?
Why is art important?
Oh, art is the soul of a community, Hamid. It helps everybody be more creative and understand all of the things of nature around us and all of the nuances of people. We can't live without art and books, those two things.
Important.
Yeah, can we get?
Because it's subjective.
Correct. Yeah, if we can get people just move back.
Yes. We all have a different idea what that means.
Real overwhelmed right now.
We all end up somewhere in the end. We all have an idea how to get there.
So, Julia, why is art important?
Art saves the world. Art is the thing that has saved me from things in my past that were negative, and I did art, and I've used that to date, and it just brings a lot of joy. Oh, don't miss the pig.
Can we pet your pig? Can they pet your pig?
Of course. Why is art important?
Art is important for survival of humanity. We're all going to die without it. You know, not just be unhappy. We're all going to die if we don't have art. I promise you.
Unless you're taking it off the I can reach that. So, Susan, why is art important? I'm going to get a little closer here.
Art is important because it's an expression of who we are, what we believe in, and the way we view the world and the things around us.
Jason Berlin.
Alana Reese.
Juniper Reese. She's a world famous artist.
Yeah.
Sculptor, installation artist, painter extraordinaire.
Same with that guy.
All right, so let me ask you, why is art important?
God, why is art important?
Because we reimagine the world. That needs to happen a lot right now. The world needs to be reimagined.
Yeah, art
it's
is
in a
also
terrible state.
It is. Art, I think, is also an expression of our souls. It's what connects everybody, just like food is a connection for everybody. And I believe art is also a form of protest. It's a way to make sense of the system and structures we live under and chip away at those edges and rebuild. I mean, without art, what's the point?
Why is art important?
Why is it not important? I mean, come on, it's makes you happy. It elicits a lot of emotions. It's not, static, although it can be, it's many things, you know what I'm saying? It's difficult to describe. That's a really weird, question, but it's it is what it is. Art is what you think it is, If it moves you in some regard, cry, makes you angry, makes you think, that's art. If it elicits a passion in some way, that's art.
Chris, why is art important?
Because it makes you feel alive. I love creating it. I love buying it. It's just one of my favorite things.
My daughter's partner's mother's.
Oh. Thank you so much.
Why is art important?
Why is art important? Well, it inspires people to think outside of their normal mindset, I think, is the biggest part.
Fred, why is art important?
Art's been incredibly important to me. I mean, it's kind of saved my life as a little kid. I was really sick and in bed for almost a year. And that's what I did, is I did drawings of cartoons, and then I'd invite people into our house and show them and charge them a nickel a piece to see my movie I'd made. I was about 6, and that was 6 was 70 years ago, so that was quite a lot. That was kind of big entertainment back then. So.
Art saved your life.
Saved my life, and it continues to do that. When I was had crises in my life, I always painted through them. I'm great. It's great to be in this show. I've been in it since Chris started it, and I love him. He does an incredible amount of work for all the artists of Portland.
Aaron, why is art important?
Art is important because I feel like it helps you see outside yourself. See things that you may not have seen in the way you look at the world.
Mm-hmm. Sure, you bet.
Sharon, why is art important?
Because it's how we communicate with each other in a joyous and meaningful manner.
Why is art important?
Art is important for multiple different reasons. One, it frees the soul of all the emotions that you are having to work on a piece that fills the piece, and then it expresses feelings into a different way of putting things.
Important in this crazy topsy-turvy world of ours?
Because without it, we don't know who we are, where we're going, or how to plan for the future. And without art, we have no soul. So with those ideas in mind, we artists are out here trying to save the world in our small way.
Why is art important?
Art is important because it helps us connect to our imagination, and that is something that we don't acknowledge and embrace much in our current culture. And I think that when we have a canvas or a plank of wood, we get to create worlds and let whatever is on the inside come out. And there can be healing in that.
Why do you do it?
For all those reasons, and I like the way it feels to mush around glue and painter's caulk and paints. When I work in 2 dimensions, I enjoy the feeling of the material and connecting to the material and learning what it likes to do.
Learning what it likes to do. So you learn from working with the material.
Yeah. Yeah, like plaster likes to do certain things, and if you push it too hard, it will break. Oil paint and acrylic paint, they have different things that they like to do and different properties, and depending on what you mix them with or what you're putting them on, they will teach you things.
She likes them both.
It's nice.
Guy, why is art important?
Because I think art still makes you imagine, and it strikes back sort of an emotional memory and an emotional chord of something that's important to you. And I think it's especially important in schools these days, because I think we've got one too many mathematicians and scientists, and I think we need to kind of re-engage with that. And I'm a writer, so I'm a little bit biased, but I think it's still very important today.
So Denise, in this crazy topsy-turvy world we're living in these days, why is art important?
Because it expresses a person's genuine desire to express themselves. Most art, I believe, is so personal. And even if people are trying to follow some rules, they have a unique way of presenting themselves. So art is so important because anybody can do it as well. There's no ability level required. Anybody can do art. And there are so many forms. And it's creative, it is emotive, it's personal. So I think we cannot have a world without it.
Do you have any advice for next generation of artists?
Look around you. I believe in looking at models you like, whether it's nature or other artists. Look around you and study what you like and try to internalize why you like it. Is it color? Is it form? Is it and don't be afraid to use that as a teacher. And then try again. And also don't be afraid to change your mind. You might have a style that you find you get a lot of applause for, but that's okay, that you can change your mind. So don't be, which even I feel sometimes, don't be afraid that somebody's is better than yours, and so you're like, why even try? Because you have your own way of doing it. That's what I want to say.
So, Gary, why is, in today's world, and we all know there's so much is going on in today's world, why is art important to us?
Oh boy. I think it gives everyone a different way to look at things. It's refreshing, it can be beautiful, it can be challenging, but most of all, it's fun for the artist.
It is fun for the art. Like, what's fun about art for you?
Since I've been a little kid, I've always been drawing and painting, and it is just a great creative pastime and a great profession for those who want to make it a profession. But it's been just part of my life as long as I can remember, and a very important part of it.
So Matthew, in our contemporary world, why is art important?
I think it's important because it's a way that we can tap into the human experience, and a way we can express the human experience, and I think that we will always need mediums to express the human experience. And it will always be important for us to be able to do that and share that with other people as a way to understand each other's experiences, to convey certain core aspects of what it means to be human. And I feel like, with the stuff happening in our world and in our country, that it's even more important that we have that outlet to understand what it means to be human and be able to share that with other people.
Yeah. Thank you for being human, Matthew.
Thank you for being human, Hamid.
So, Chris, you are the curator of the 10th annual Big 500. Like, what is this freaking like for you?
Well, it's 10 years, and that's why I don't like to hear kids crying, but it's okay. The show started a long time ago, and I think that it's hard. I wasn't going to end at the 9th year, so I had to go 10 years. So we actually have more. We have around 600 artists in this show. So it's a lot of art. We have about 5,500 pieces on the wall. We're currently about to move one of the galleries. We've sold a lot today. We're only about 3.5 hours in the show. I think the show is amazing. My brain is hurting from looking at everything, but I'm really, really proud of everyone. This took about 8 months to really pull together. All the artists, thousands of emails, thousands of pieces of wood. Roadblock after roadblock, and then it happened, and we had a fully packed house today. And so I think this show is such a huge community builder, and it brings so many people together that it's hard for me not to do it every year, because it's nice to see all the artists come together, and there's always a returning faction of artists in here, but always a good almost half of the artists are new. As people have moved to Portland, I feel like this is such a staple show, that it's really important, and I'm glad that everyone came and bought art and had fun today.
What kind of advice can you give to our next generation of artists? In this crazy fucking world that we're in right now, what can you give to some folks who are just starting out in art?
And for the folks just starting out, don't go to art school. If you can make art, want to make art, make art. I think that the best thing about this show is I find hidden people. Maybe there's definitely gallery artists and famous artists in the show, but there's also people that maybe have never been in a show, or our age range is 14 to 80. I invited people at the bagel shop to be in the show because I saw their art and it was amazing. I look for the closet artists. Art is a really private thing. To bring your art into the world into a public place is a hard endeavor. This is an easy show to be in, and it's nice to see your art. You're not competing with everyone else besides what the art is. The art is not competition. It's different people representing different art on the wall all together, just like the world, right? The advice I give to a young artist is just make art, do it all the time. You'll get better and better. If you need someone to tell you you're doing a good job, I'll do that. I'll help you make it better if you like, but really just try to find your voice and be original.
Right on. Thank you, brother. Thank you for doing this show and inviting us all to it.
For sure.
And bringing everyone together.
This is the big little big, right?
The big little big.
Yeah.
Right on.
Awesome.